Hello, everybody. Long time no see. Yeah, I've not really filmed a video in a while, because I've just been working a lot. I'm kind of in a bit of a depressive dip, I think, but it's okay. It's okay because I've got through all the ones before, so I will get through this one too. But that's not what today's video is about. I don't know if I should zoom in or if that'll be like too hey. So I'm just gonna talk at the camera today. Yeah, I wanted to just like sit down and talk about how it is 1 year on from my breakup. Well, not exactly, it's been like 10 months, but definitely 1 year since, like, probably longer than since I was happy in that relationship. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about how I've coped, how I feel. It's crazy because I think I have now been out of the relationship longer than I was in it, because me and my ex went out for just kind of under a year, which is just crazy because I've like lived more life out of it than in the relationship. And yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to kind of reflect on it, especially I think because like right now I'm having a lot of flashbacks to last summer because I still worked in the same place, was kind of doing the same things, but I was in such a different mental place than where I am now, that I feel like I'm kind of, yeah, I feel like I'm having a lot of memories and thoughts about last summer, because this time last summer I was so unhappy, so unhappy. And I think I mean, I had my rose tinted glasses on. I thought it was gonna get better, and in fact it just got worse. So it's kind of a weird feeling to be in kind of the same places but be in a completely different mindset and not having to worry about a partner, a relationship. Like, it's very freeing, but it's weird because it almost makes me think about him every day, because this time last summer I was thinking about him every day. I've got a vanilla latte, so we're gonna taste test. That's good. Yeah, so don't know, I just wanted to spiel, is that the right word? Kind of like how I used to do when I didn't think that my video diaries would go anywhere. I would just like talk to the camera. I mean, it's been one hell of a year. And I think I didn't start feeling better until like March, I want to say. So that was like probably 6 months after is when I started to feel a little bit lighter. And obviously the healing process is different for everyone, but definitely those first 6 months were, oh god, there's a guy there, it's okay. The first 6 months were hell. And as you guys would have seen and witnessed, and I did not think I would be able to get through that. And now it's so weird because like I was absolutely besotted with this person, and when the breakup happened, like, I can't explain enough to people how much I didn't think I would be able to live through that. because the pain was so much. I felt so betrayed. I felt just horrific. And I'm probably going to insert some videos of, just so you can like witness it, because I feel like when I was going through the breakup and I was looking on like YouTube videos and stuff, people sitting there and talking about like, oh, this is my heartbreak, blah, blah, blah. It's really hard to believe them when you haven't seen them in the bad state. So I find the videos where people would actually film like it in real time really helpful, because you can relate and you can be like, okay, they were really, really struggling and look at them now. So that's one reason why I've filmed, like documented my heartbreak. I don't know if I'm ever going to put it out anywhere, but I'll maybe put in a couple clips just so you guys can like get a gist of how bad I was.
This is taking all my strength. All my strength, and I'm so tired. It's 2 days after the breakup. I just feel like a shell of a human. And I feel it everywhere in my body. I feel physically ill. Because there's so much pain. My stomach, my arm, my back. It's just sore. Just feel like a shell of a person. I just feel sick and anxious. I feel it all in my chest, like here. Yeah. Every moment is a struggle right now. Really tired. I'm really tired. And there's not been peace in my brain for so long. I just don't know why to do this. I feel so sad. I knew it wasn't right, and I knew I wasn't happy. But I wasn't ready to let go. It's just a horrible feeling. It just wasn't right.
And yeah, it's really surreal now, because like I just can't explain how much I didn't think I would be able to get through that. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I did it. And the stage of kind of like healing, I guess, that I'm at right now is, thank God that's over. Which I never ever thought I'd be able to say. For so long it was like, why did he leave? Why did that have to happen? Like, I don't understand how I'm ever gonna kind of feel any relief about this or gratitude for this. Like, this is the worst possible thing that's ever happened to me. Whereas now, as I've moved through my healing and I have done so much reflecting on the relationship and work on myself, it is thank God. Thank God I am not in that relationship that was sucking the life out of me. And yeah, I don't... like, I couldn't imagine not thinking about him, not crying about him, not kind of yearning for him. Like, it just seemed absolutely impossible. But now I don't. And yes, it has taken a while, but it still happened. Like, it doesn't matter how long it takes. You know, of course there are still moments, but on the whole, I no longer, like, think about him with, like, a gold halo around his head. I'm very realistic with myself and logical. And I don't think about him every second of every day. And he has become a fleeting thought, which is just, honestly, I can't even explain how crazy that is, because I couldn't stop thinking about him. Like, I could not stop thinking about him because it was like a drug. It was an addiction. Whereas now, thoughts of him and my relationship have just become like other thoughts. They come and they go. And I'm not saying that happens all the time. There are still times where I will lie in bed at night and cry about it. And I think that's the key thing, that you can feel absolutely fine for 2 weeks and then you might have horrific 3 days. Like, healing is not linear for anything. And just because I'm saying on the whole it's okay, it doesn't mean that I don't still have times where I'm really cut up about it. And I still have days where his presence and... whoa, I'm gonna cry. His presence and... that came out of nowhere. His presence and the ghost of him, like, feel very strong. Particularly if I've had a dream about him, that really does mess you up. And it's really annoying because you can't really control your dreams. Or if just something's happened that really makes his presence or his absence feel stronger. But on the whole, like, I am completely different to the person that he broke up with a year ago. I can confidently say that I am so much happier without him. And I couldn't say that for a really long time because I didn't think it was true, but it is. I am so much happier. I'm so much better off. And even though I would say that, like, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I didn't believe it. I'd be like, yeah, I know I'm better off, but... whereas now I'm like, no, I'm better off. I have never felt so connected to myself. I feel very free, and it has just... the whole process has taught me so much about, like, my relationship with myself, which I didn't know, like, that I needed to learn more. I don't know, I just wanted to sit down and be like, it does get better. I will put in some clips of me in the early stages of the breakup, and when people were saying to me, time will heal, it'll be okay, and I was literally like, nope, nothing will heal this, nothing will heal this. But here I am. Time is a healer.
Healing feels impossible. Like, how will I ever heal from this? Grieving someone who is alive almost feels too great. And the grief feels like it's gonna kill me.
It's difficult now knowing that when you're in that position. So if I see my friends going through it or anyone, there is nothing you can do that's gonna fix it. Like, obviously if your friend or a close person to you is going through a breakup and a heartbreak, you can be there for them, you can offer support, but ultimately it is time. And it's a really difficult thing to grasp with. But then it's like, okay, but while that time is passing, you're filling your life with things that make you happy. You're filling your life with people that make you happy, doing hobbies, activities. You're building, while all this time is passing and your heart is healing, you are building a life that is really separate from them. And I really think that's what I've done and I tried to do. There's a learner behind me. Like, I think that is, you know, if anyone asks how I got through heartbreak, it is, you build a new life without them, and you know, you try new things, you hang out with new people, you really just fill your life with goodness so that their absence seems less of a huge hole in your life. And like, I basically lived with my ex for most of the time we were together, so in some ways it was quite easy for me to build a new life because I hadn't really been in my area of Edinburgh, because I'd been living at his. Like, it was maybe harder for him because all my things and my presence was very strong in his flat, whereas he wasn't, especially because I moved flats, like, he wasn't in mine. But it was a huge adjustment because, again, a lot of breakups, and I know this because a few other people in my life have been going through breakups recently, it's creating new patterns, and it's when you have daily routines with someone, a lot of the breakup is the shock of, yeah, like, not really knowing where you stand in just terms of daily life because you share so much with this partner. Like, me and my ex, like, our routine was we would go for coffee before the gym, and then we'd go to the gym, and then we'd come home and we'd cook lunch, and like, that was our thing. So I have had to carve out new routines for myself, and arguably routines that make me happier, like reading my book before the gym, because I didn't really do that when I was in my relationship. I neglected so many parts of myself that would have actually made me a lot happier. So yeah, building new routines, and then like treating you, like, it sounds so cliche, but like dating yourself, being like, okay, so like, what should we do now? What should we do now? What's gonna make me happy today? It's not easy. It's like, it's really difficult. But the more you build those practices, those new routines, the kind of more distance you get from this kind of old life with your ex-partner. I also, I'm just gonna say, no contact. For me, I would not be in the place that I am right now if I was still in any form of contact with my ex. It was very difficult, and I did not obey it in the beginning because, like, me and my ex never agreed to go no contact. So in the beginning we were still in contact, but I quickly realized that that wasn't helping, and also I actually didn't want this person in my life anymore. It's completely different. Like, obviously I was able to go no contact. Some situations, if you have commitments, if you have children, like, you cannot do that. And I also, like, also because I was like, oh, we can stay in contact because we can still be friends. But yeah, I came to realize that I did not want this person in my life in any form. So that did make the no contact easier. And as much as you want to check their socials and you want to see what they're doing, information is like a source of safety, but you have to like information about them almost soothes your anxiety, but in the long run is really negative. So you have to resist, because you have to remind yourself that that person is no longer in your life, and anything that they're doing now, it has nothing to do with you. So like, I wasn't able to do it straight away, but I unfollowed him on all social media, like removed him as a follower as well, deleted our conversations. That took me a long time, because you have to almost force the realization that this person is not in your life anymore. They are not a source of comfort for you. They're not someone you can talk to anymore. You have to find other people to do that. And it's really difficult, because obviously you still care for this person. And I remember my friend said to me, you can care for this person. This was like in the beginning, when I was like, oh, I just want to make sure they're okay and blah blah blah. And he was like, you can think that, but you don't have to contact them about it. You can care for them, but that doesn't mean you have to text him. You can care from afar. So it is difficult. It's not easy. I'm really not here being like, yeah, I did this, this and this, and then I was great, because I will show you in these clips that this has been the fight of my life, and I've been in quite a lot of fights of my life. But just, it's my little tip, like, you've got to remove yourself from that person and their life and what they're doing. And like, I have no idea what he's doing right now, and in the first stages of my breakup that would terrify me, and it's still sad. Like, I still experience kind of like a pang of sadness about that, but then I refocus my attention to my life, and there's no need for me to know what he's doing. It's got nothing to do with me. Again, another big part is finding closure for yourself, which has been really difficult. I felt like I needed to have a last conversation. I felt like I needed to get a lot off my chest that I wasn't able to, because I was in kind of such a state of shock when everything happened. I feel like it's definitely a thing that as you go on, you realize you create your own closure. You cannot rely on someone else to kind of like give you closure. Like, I wanted a last conversation, I wanted all this, but I started to realize that even if I did, that wouldn't kind of give me what I needed, because I had to give that to myself, and I had to journal about it, I had to scream about it, I had to cry about it, because yeah, you can't still rely on this person to give you closure, because it's still some kind of reliance. Even if it's not like, oh, my safety blanket, you're still relying on this person to give you closure about a relationship. I had to find that closure and that peace elsewhere. I don't know, it's still very surreal to me that all of everything that happened, like, it's still sometimes I'm like, oh, like, yeah, I'm not with this person anymore, and I've been through quite a traumatic breakup, like, and there's definitely still questions of why did it have to happen to me. I don't know if they'll ever go away, but you can't let yourself sink in those thoughts. You can't let those thoughts drown you, because we don't know why, but it did, and it's what you do with what's happened that's important. Yeah, you can get so bogged down in all the questions, but ultimately I think you just have to keep pushing forward and looking towards your new life and looking towards the future rather than getting so stuck in the past, because it's helpful to an extent to look at the past and work out why certain things happened, but you don't want to get stuck there. And I'm saying this now, but like, I needed my friends to tell me this, and they did tell me this over and over again. Like, I was so stuck, so stubborn, and my friends have like 100% helped me survive this, and I don't think I would be here if it weren't for them. And I think times of, you know, darkness really reveal who's there for you, because my closest friends absolutely rallied around me, and I'm so blessed and beyond grateful because they let me talk about it until I couldn't talk about it anymore. They would listen, they'd offer advice, like they'd pick me up when I needed a boost again. And having a strong support network during heartbreak is so important, because they are going to be the ones that are going to pick up the pieces. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say. I just wanted to come and reflect on what a crazy year it's been. You will get through it. You will, because I just did not. There were so many times where the grief felt bigger than anything I'd ever experienced. It felt so powerful, and I felt so tiny against it that I was like, I can't do this. I can't. But you keep putting one foot in front of the other and you keep going. And they do. The memories, the hurt, it just fades. And it's sad, like it's really sad that it fades, but it does. Like, I thought I would always be plagued by this. I just thought I would have to live with this despair forever. You don't, and you won't. And it's, you know, like I said, I still think about him, and I still have to sit and reflect on things, but it doesn't take over my life anymore. It's not something that I think about every second of every day, which is like, I never would have believed that if someone had told me. I think it's definitely like the effects of everything in my relationship on like me thinking about a future relationship. I said that in the most confusing way possible. I think that's something I'm struggling with now, is because I'm farther out, and it is like you start to think about, oh, there are other people out there that I can be with. You're then also faced with a lot of the anxieties and stresses that, like, what if a relationship I find now turns out just like the old one, and what if, like, the long lasting impact of what someone says to you and how someone makes you feel, kind of no matter how much I work on myself. I still hear things that this person said to me in my brain, not very nice things, and like, yeah, I think it's still hard to drown out the things that happened in the relationship for me in order for me to like move forward. This, like, the self-esteem and self-confidence is definitely still hard, but it's so much better than it was, and I'm so much better than I was because I'm working on it. I'm actively working on it and giving this person less power over my brain. But yeah, it's so surreal that like this time last year I didn't even know anything was wrong in my relationship. But I was so unhappy. I was so unhappy. And now I feel like I've been through 3 lifetimes since the breakup. But yeah, I mean, everyone says to me these days, like, you're just glowing and you are completely different to who you were in that relationship. And I think that's really positive. And I'm starting to believe it now as well. That yeah, it may take a long time. There's no timeline to healing, and it can be so frustrating. But you have to be kind with yourself. You have to be patient with yourself, and it just won't hurt forever. It won't. Like, life goes on, and you learn to go on. And there are still days when my heart feels like it's been ripped open, but those days are much less than they were. And you just think about them less. You do. You have other things to think about, like other things to worry and stress about, and they don't take over everything. And it's so gradual, you almost don't even notice it. And like, I can talk about it without crying anymore. Yeah. Just wanted to sit and reflect on it, because it is just so weird. So I don't know if this video is helpful for anyone, but that is my little 1 year on from heartbreak reflection video. Yeah, life's weird, but the world does keep spinning. I'm okay. Yeah. I'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna go to the gym now, so I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope this was helpful or provided you with some reassurance that if you're feeling heartbroken, it will get better. I'll see you soon.